Hello and good afternoon. I'm Lisa Ann. I'm sitting out here in my garden on this December day. That's really not so bad. It was cold when I first came out, but now that I've been doing a little work, I'm not cold anymore. Merry Christmas. That's why the Santa hat is on. We're very close to Christmas. In fact, today is the winter solstice. So for the December garden update, not too much has happened in the garden since the last update in November, but I do have a big job to do, and that is to lime my garden. I did a soil test last year and it recommended adding lime. What I'm going to do is just heavily lime this upper part of the garden in the row and between the row, and then take a little bit and put just on the rows down there, and then I will compost on top of that and eventually till that in. My grandmother told me years ago, if you just dig your garden with a shovel and a hoe, it'll never be bigger than you can manage. Words of wisdom. She was right, and I've enjoyed my little garden. But I did borrow a tiller, and I think I'm going to take advantage of it and just till this whole upper garden with the lime and the compost. Over here on this side of the garden, relatively little change. You can see some greens and a lot of chickweed and a few onions. The onions are looking really good. Carrots and parsnips and a row of bulb onions. And something, and it's got to be a rabbit, is in here eating the tops of all my carrots. The winter radish still looking good. Let's see, let's pull one. Oh yeah, they're starting to get very sizable. Look at that. Ooh, I think I'm the one that mostly likes them. Oh, there's a big one. That's good. So there's the garlic row. You can see that it's growing, even in the cold temperatures. And it's still not too late to plant garlic. The mustards are growing very slowly, but these back here don't get a lot of sun. I put lime on this row where nothing was growing. And I've got mustard there. And then more lime at the end of this row. And because my asparagus are still not fully dry, they're still showing some green, I just limed that row, and I'll come in next month and weed it and then compost over the top of them. So we have some greens here, a mix of turnip and mustard and lettuce. The little cabbages here are looking pathetic because something keeps eating them. I'm sure it's a little bunny rabbit. See the kale? It wants to grow so bad, but the leaves keep getting eaten. More winter radishes. Now my loofah, it died completely in the freeze, and it needs to be cleaned off. I'll do that next month too. More winter radish. And over here by the fruit trees, you can see that the parsley is not affected by the freeze at all. So it's a biennial. It'll send up a flower stalk next year, next spring. So I'll let some of them stay and go to seed, but also more parsley here, also in the spring. Not much happening really, but I am going to go over to the compost pile and start shoveling compost. I'm going to cover up all of this lime. So I've gotten my first load of compost in the wheelbarrow. I'm going to take it up to the garden and begin spreading it. I'm hot now. Okay, so you saw how far I got, and I'm out of finished compost, so I'm going to have to cover the rest with some leaf mulch. I'm going to go get my compost job finished. So come along and I'll show you what I'm talking about. That was mostly marigolds, sweet potato vines, and pea vines, black-eyed peas. And it's already dried and rotted a great deal, and it smells unbelievably good. I love these geo bins. Alright, that's a lot better. So you can see how high this bin is, and in 2 months it'll be a third of that. And then here's the new one. I just left a little bit in there so that some of the good bacteria and fungus is in there to start digesting the new things. Alright, that's a job well done. Again, we'll revisit it in 2 months. I did hope that I might get around to tilling the garden in December. I'll just have to check the forecast and see. It's going to have to be a lot drier than what it is right now. It's 2 days after I did my garden update, and it's supposed to start raining in the morning. So I am going to get this little area tilled up while I have a window of opportunity. Storm is my skilled and experienced tiller user. She's used it already to till up the chicken yard, so she's going to give me a little tutorial. Be right back. I'm going to leave my beets and lettuce uncovered till the next cold snap. All the lime and compost and grass clippings is tilled in, and that makes me happy. Okay, I got it done. It's kind of messy, but it's in there. So it's December 23rd. Almost Christmas. I'm gonna go and weed the beet row, get rid of that chickweed that's been growing under the cover. Maybe do a little raking, some of the dirt that spilled out into the path. Anyway, I'm proud of myself. Job well done. I kept thinking of a Bible verse, you know, once you put your hand to the plow, don't look back. I'm not real sure about that verse and what it means. You kind of get the idea. And the dispensation of the grace of God, we are saved to work. We don't work to get saved. God did the work for us. Praise the Lord. But there is work to do, not just garden work, but sharing the gospel with others. If you don't know the gospel, it is that you trust in Jesus' death, burial, and resurrection. There's an eternal judgment. You know in your conscience that there's a God. You know He created all things. You know when you die you'll face Him. You know that. You knew it when you were a child, unless some liberal tried to talk you out of it and convince you otherwise. So you don't have to face God with fear and dread. You can face Him with assurance, because He came down, paid the price for you and me so that we could be saved eternally. So just trust Him. So I'll see you in January, I hope. Thank you so much for watching. See you next time.